It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back. We got another video suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community, so shout out to Cozy for this suggestion. This one is from Scott Jun, titled Broken Spawns Are Killing DBD for me. And I wanted to give my thoughts. We're going to cover specific talking points. The original video, of course, will be linked in the description, so you can support and watch from the original creator. But in this case, we're talking about Scott Jun's video, which, like I always preface with any Scott Jun video, is that, you know, his it really is a coin flip if I agree or disagree with Scott, because his opinions tend to kind of change between videos. So we're gonna see if we agree or disagree with this.
So let's look at the spawn right here. I actually explicitly put on Lethal Pursuer because I know things are broken and I just wanted to start visualizing it. But here we go. If we turn on Lethal Pursuer, we see we have one guy over here. He's already next to a generator. We look to the left, and there's two people here on this generator. There's another guy all the way over here, and before I've even rotated my cameras, dude's already on a generator. So within probably 5 seconds of this match starting, we have 3 people on 3 different generators. Another example from the game that was in the B-roll. Again, we have one guy over here at Shack, and then on the complete opposite ends of the map, we have someone downstairs and then 2 people over here.
So as we're seeing from what Scott Jun has actually shown us with 2 different visual examples, we actually can see that, yes, these spawns are indeed broken. Which, mind you, there's a really interesting point that I really want to touch on briefly, is the fact that notice how this particular bug has not been fixed, and notice how slow that they're probably going to actually make changes to this. I think it's very important that we really take a note. Let's take a mental note as to when the video is posted, and let's also take a note as to when the actual patch goes through, as a little bit of an experiment to see, you know, just for the sake of example, how quick they are to want to fix bug changes that negatively affect killer versus how they fix bug changes that negatively affect survivor. Now, good example that I will mention previously that we always talk about is the fact that when we look at Streetwise, that was never kill switched until very late before it was actually fixed, because they said, for whatever reason, that it wasn't priority in comparison to other bugs in the game. Now, mind you, the Streetwise bug allowed for infinite item use. Yet, when we have Legion with infinite power use, all of a sudden, that he was kill switched immediately before anyone even knew that that bug was in place. So my question obviously then becomes, how is it that they're so quick to kill switch the killers, but they somehow can't kill switch anything for survivors? Anytime anything is ever bugged, immediately it's changed for the survivor side. And that's just what we're going off of from the examples that we have. We can look at Made for This being a 9-month lasting perk in its prime, but they haven't never fixed it. So my question is, if a perk is that extremely overtuned, why was that never patched? Why was that never kill switched? It was extremely overtuned, completely broken. Oh no, that's fine. Huh? Like, what? Yet if you look at when they buffed up Girl of the Hunt for killers, then it was nerfed in a week. So what? Like, what is that? Like, you would think if it was fair and they actually cared about the integrity of the game, they would immediately be trying to patch these things quick as possible, regardless of what side it comes from and who it benefits. Because they should immediately be throwing out the kill switch as soon as possible if they know something is going to be that broken or causing a problem. Or at least let people know immediately, yeah, we notice that this is causing a problem, we're going to fix it as soon as possible. Or do something of that nature. Or, I don't know, playtest. That would actually help too. But regardless, I use this as an example to say that, once again, DBD is bugged and broken as per usual. But also to say that there is a clear bias in which how they decide to choose to do these things. Very true. It's very obvious, as we can see. And the blatant ignorance that we're actually seeing from the developer teams in different streams and stuff like that they've done, i.e., if you look at the gameplay in the background, the game map, they must really like pallets. So it's like, I just really don't understand entirely as to why it's like this, and why aren't the devs like trying to make it fair? And I understand it's an asymmetrical game. I understand that, you know, it's going to be lopsided to some degree. But the thing is that it's supposed to be lopsided toward the power role, i.e. the monster, the killer, the whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like the big name in the crowd, not random camper number 7. Like, we're not worried about camper number 7 on the set. We're worried about the actual villain of the damn thing. But for some reason, they're more interested in making the victim role the power role, and then the power role the victim. I don't really understand that. And a good example that I would say is that we can use as a reference is with Quiet Kills' video example, where he actually does go against a Swift. Like, it's like a Swift, they're trying to like bully the killer. They realize it didn't work, so they all DC'd. Right? So my question then becomes, at what point is it the killer's fault? And another question would have to be, at what point is it not the survivor's fault for adding on to this negativity in the community? Because they're going in together as a team to give the killer a hard time. Somehow no one bats an eye. Nobody says that's a bad thing. Oh no, that's just them having fun. Oh my god, yeah, that's so great. What? So why is it that a killer could go in playing however the hell they want, and that's a problem? Oh, he's strategizing. You can't let that happen. Yet we have 4-man Swifts giving people a hard time, and that's just fine. Which, mind you, they benefit the most from players that don't know what the hell they're doing, which directly negatively affects a player's experience who is inexperienced, which will probably not even pick up the game anymore at some point. You literally lose a player because of it. Why is that player not as important as the Swift? Why is that player not valuable? That's my problem. That's my issue. And because we understand that, and even touching really back onto the main point of the video, is the mere fact that this bug is quite literally benefiting the goddamn survivors again. Which, you know what other bug that was added into the game that was never changed? The pallet density. When 2v8 had come in, it was a whole bunch of pallets that just kind of appeared in all these places. For no reason, mind you. They never reverted it. They never changed anything. They never removed any of them. So they're all still here in the game. I haven't seen any of the patches that say, hey, we reduced the pallet numbers again. So we fixed the bug. No. We don't see any of that, though. Oh, no, hell no. Woo! We ain't gonna see none of that nonsense. Whoa, hell no. Whoa. We can't not benefit them. Whoa, slow down. Like, hold on now. Like, too much dip on your chip there, I guess. Right? So, I gotta say it again. Like, notice that one bug, quote unquote, is benefiting a certain side, and now we're getting another bug that's benefiting the other side. I mean, like, are we not looking at the same game? Like, it's kind of insane, right? Because notice, like, with the example that Scott Jund had used, they are literally sitting there already on the gen at the very start of the game, which was their spawn changes that they supposedly fixed to group them all together, was to change that, to reduce that, to prevent that. So they essentially reverted, whether intentionally or not, reverted their change to actually help the killers at the start of the match. Whether it be intentional or not. Well, now, a lot of us would like to believe it was intentional because of, you know, the clear bias that the developers do show. However, benefit of the doubt says maybe it was unintentional. But I'm hoping that maybe with awareness to this issue, that maybe it can be fixed, right? But that's, you know, we also have to keep in mind that this is still DBD we're talking about, and it's not ever going to be fixed, most likely. Or they will wait like 8 to 9 months before they fix it for some unknown reason. Don't know why. You would think that game-breaking stuff like that would be a priority, but no, not at all. They're not concerned with your experience as a player. They are not concerned with your knowledge as a player. They are not concerned if you are a killer player. They are not concerned with anything that has to do with skill expression. None of that. They're just concerned with making the game a product where people can constantly waste all their money on cosmetics, especially Survivor cosmetics, because there's so many of them that you can mix and match, providing the most amount of money for the least amount of effort. Because mind you, Killer actually requires them to put in a lot of effort to be able to design powers, design and balance these things correctly, to be able to make sure these things work on all the maps and stuff like that, to design a certain thing, to even follow I believe they like the restrictions from the license holder, stuff like that, and to be ultimately as creative as you can for those killers versus like a simple two models that they have to choose from, and they just put a skin on it and call it a day. It's way easier for them to be able to just put a skin onto a skeleton and sell it. That's pretty much all they have to do when it comes to Survivor. They're all identical. As much as they like to claim that there's so much skill expression, there is, but unfortunately it's not needed with the current state of the game. Because shout out to Mr. Taterhead, who literally shows us like there's so much to learn about Survivor, and yet with the changes they keep adding, it's like they just throw all that out the window. It's like you don't even need all that information. You don't need that, apparently, because there's so many pallets. You don't even have to play smart or well or do anything remotely intelligent, because you can get away with everything because of how much hand-holding there is. There's literally so much hand-holding that you literally cannot mess anything up at this point. So at this point, it's like, why even play? If you're a killer player, I ask you this: why even play? Why even play anymore? That's my question to you guys, right? And as you guys know, that's why I've been playing other stuff. You guys have seen it on stream. We've been playing the Resident Evil games, and that's been fun. I've been actually enjoying that, actually. Which, as you guys know, we've been working on Resident Evil 4 from like the OG version, not the remake. And I've never played it before. And then that was like, I've been probably the first time I've ever played it. And I think it's great. Probably going to be one of my favorite RE games of all time at this point. But let me know in the comments, man, if you've been playing other games, what games are they? All right, let me know your thoughts as well. Hit the like, hit the sub, man, or even becoming a member on YouTube or Patreon to help support this channel, because we're trying to expand and make other channels that focus on not this game. So hell yeah, check those out. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon Crow Vader, all my YouTube members: Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not JLo, Evil Peach, Hargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.